Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the health education. The objectives of today's session is to understand the approaches to health education. Let us begin with the definition of health education. Health education is a process by which individual and groups of people will learn to behave in a manner. So we see that here in health education, which is a definition given by John M., he said that the process, this health education is a process by which an individual or group of people, they learn to behave in a manner which is conducive to the promotion, maintenance, and restoration of health. There is promotion of health, maintenance of health, and also if they are deceased, there is restoration back to health. Their behavior which is conducive in maintaining, promoting, and restoring their health, that is known as health education. Now we see that there are certain aims and objectives of health education, which includes the definition which was adopted by World Health Organization and also at the Alma-Ata Declaration. They provided the basis for forming these aims and objectives. First aim is to encourage the people to adopt and sustain their health promoting lifestyle. Their lifestyle should be such that it is promoting a health, which is promoting the health of that individual. It should not make him sick. It should not deteriorate his health. Instead, it has to promote his health, to adopt and also sustain such a lifestyle that it is promoting his health. Also, to promote the proper use of health services which are available to them. We have to aim. What is our aim? What is our aim of giving this health education to the people? So that they adopt and sustain their health promoting lifestyles, and also they use the health services appropriately which are available to them. Also, we want to arouse interest in the people, in the individuals, and also in the community, so that they improve their skills and change their attitude in solving their problems. We give health education so that they can improve the skills, change their attitudes to solve their problems. Also, what do? We will stimulate the community and also the individuals so that they can participate in the health development. So by this, at every step, they will be identifying their problems and solving them. At the community level, we are going to stimulate this community as well as the individuals so that they can become self-reliant and they can identify their own problems and solve them. They can make use of the health services which are available to them. They can adopt and sustain their health promoting lifestyles. So that is the aim of health education. There is a changing concept of health education in olden days and the newer methods. In our old times, there was prevention of disease. Now, instead of prevention, we promote a healthy lifestyle. Once a person maintains a healthy lifestyle, then he ultimately, what does he do? He prevents the disease and remains healthy. Then the modification of individual behavior was concerned. Now there is modification of social environment. The environment of that individual itself is modified. So imagine this person is alcoholic. Now you are banning alcohol. So there is no chance that this individual can get addicted to alcohol. So changing the environment will modify even the individual behavior. Ultimately, it will promote the health. The community's participation was encouraged. Now, along with the community's involvement, self-reliance is added. Self-reliance is also added in the newer objectives. So, with this, we understand the definition and aims of objectives. Now, let us move on to the most important thing, that is the approach to health education. There are four well-known approaches to health education. We have regulatory approach, service approach, health education approach and primary healthcare approach. Let us begin with regulatory approach, the managed prevention. In regulation, see guys, in regulatory approach, regulation here, it is in the context of health education. It may be defined as a governmental intervention. The government is intervening and promoting the health. Okay, it could be direct or indirect. With the legislative approach, the government's intervention is observed here. Now, the regulation can be in the form of prohibition to an extent of imprisonment. So, we see that the regulatory approach, what does it do? It enforces laws on the people. Laws are placed on the people. External laws, external control will be placed on the people. So we see that there are certain examples for such laws. We had sterilization campaign in 1976 in India. In India, after the completion of their family, the sterilization was made a must. A law was passed in 1976, but then it failed due to various reasons. So we see that the sterilization campaign was one of such laws where the government intervention was done to improve the health status of the individuals. Now we also had Child Marriage Restraint Act. You can see here the Child Marriage Restraint Act. The Child Marriage Restraint Act in India was passed, and then it had a positive effect. So we know very well now the child marriage is banned. And now we see that we also have the compulsory seat belts in western countries. All of these legislative approaches are the most simplest and quickest way to improve the health and bring about the desired changes what we want in the society. And there are also some failures of laws, like the prohibition of alcohol was a failure of the law. So what did we understand in the regulatory approach, guys? In the regulation, in the context of health education, what do we mean? In regulation, in context of health education, is the governmental intervention to alter the human behavior. We observe the governmental intervention with a legislative approach wherein the laws are placed on the people. Examples you could give: the prohibition of alcohol, Child Marriage Restraint Act, and we have sterilization campaign in 1976 in India. So let us move on to the next approach, that is service approach. This approach, okay, service approach, it aimed at providing all the health services which are needed by the people at their doorsteps. So what did the government made another approach? Service. What is service? We give service at the doorstep. Here in service approach, we are providing the facility, we are providing the service, the facilities, the requirements at the doorstep of that people. So we see that the government aimed at providing the health services at the doorsteps, assuming that people would use them to improve their own health. But then unfortunately the approach proved to be a failure, because it was not based on the felt needs of the people. A very important lesson we learned here. Now first let us see the example and then move on to the lesson. What was the example? The water seal latrines. We see that the water seal latrines which were provided by the government, which were free of cost to the people in the rural areas. But then these people who are residing in rural areas did not make use of this, because it was not their habit to use latrines, and most of them believe that it is not hygienic to have the dirt in the house. They felt that this latrine, if it is installed in their house, all the dirt will be collected in the house itself, so it is very unhygienic, and they preferred open defecation in the fields. That was it is so unhealthy, and we know most of the diseases are caused because of that. So the lesson we learned is that people will not accept a service even if it is offered free of cost, unless it is based on their felt needs. So instead of this, if we had installed hospitals, PHCs, CHCs in the rural, many PHCs, CHCs and hospitals in the rural areas, it would be a felt need maybe for them. But then this open latrines at that time did not, water seal latrines at that time did not be a felt need of the people. So even if it was free of cost, they rejected them. So that is how it turned out to be a failure. So this was regarding the service approach. Now let us move on to the health education approach. In the health education approach, we see that there are many problems, guys, like the cessation of smoking. We see that the cessation of smoking, use of safe water supply, like in the fertility control, these can be solved through health education. So we see that people must be educated and encouraged to make their own choice for a healthy living. So we have to motivate them, educate them, and also encourage them to make their own choice. Now, smoking is an individual's own choice for a healthy life. If he wants to be healthy, if he wants to avoid any complications in the near future, if he cares for himself and his family, then if you motivate him, then what happens? He makes his own choice for a healthy living. That is health education. It is very slow, but it gives an enduring result. So we see that, however, if the necessary behavioral changes are to take place, the people have to be educated through the learning experiences. We need to tell them what to do, inform them, educate and encourage them to make their own choice for a healthy living. Remember, guys, health education approach, you are encouraging and educating people to make their own choice for a healthy life. The mass medias, the mass medias and these social organizations which are helping to introduce the new habits, which without conflicting the masses, these social medias will introduce the new habits. Lastly, we have primary healthcare approach. It is a new approach starting from the people, wherein the full participation and active involvement in the planning and delivery of the health services is made. We see that the full participation and involvement of the people is expected here, the community's participation and intersectoral coordination. So intersectoral coordination in the sense, we are collaborating with the other sectors like agriculture. We are collaborating the health education with them, and we are expecting the full participation of the community's involvement, and the intersectoral coordination is done to improve the health services. And also we expect the full participation and active involvement of the delivery of health services to the people. It is radically a new approach. So with this we come to an end of the various approaches of to the health education. Let us see if we have any MCQs. The underlined questions are the MCQs. So no, so far we have not had any MCQs. I hope it's clear, and if you have any doubts, put it in the comment section. Thank you.